Hey, yeah. That's the first thing people hear is already? Yeah. Hi everybody. Welcome to Red Puts Art in Your Face. And hey, we got a new follower. All right. Thanks. Frost Games 1999.
Frost Game.
I'm going to assume that's their age, in which case, aw, child.
Or they are almost 2 millennia old.
What?
You said that's their age.
Oh. No, I meant, you know what? Shut up. Whatever. I'm doing art. So, yeah, I'm not alone this time, unlike last time when
No.
I
I'm
spent...
gonna be in and out, so don't count on me.
I'm not really counting on you.
Okay, great.
Not everything's about you, Robert. No, because last time I did an art stream, it was just me, by myself. All alone. Which, when my chat is not very active, it's hard to do on my own, especially when my throat hurts. But I'm not alone today, so that's great. I'm here with my roommates, Rob and Michaela. Rob is going to be in and out, like I said, which is why we're not counting on him.
I am here. Hi.
Yes, and that is Michaela.
I am also far away from the mic, so if I'm quiet, please let me know.
Yep.
I don't know sometimes.
Yep. All right, so we're just going to jump into this. I got a couple things to work on today. I've got... Ooh. Did I put something on that? I did not. All right, we're just going to close that then. So I've got Code Blue here, which is an OC of mine, who I'm going to work on probably. And then I've got this sketchy Starscream that I'm going to work on, which I just... That expression is just... It gives me life. And then there's this other sketchy Starscream that I'm going to work on. I like to start with the expressions first, just because they amuse the crap out of me. So I'm going to work on those today. But I think we're going to start on this one just because it's going to be a little bit easy. I was just cleaning up my colors because when I was doing this one, I just really wanted to slap my colors down really fast, so I just kind of went in with a brush and was like, whoop, whoop, done. So...
Frost Games also likes the face.
Yes. So I need to go in and erase some stuff on this, so we're going to go in, and I'm going to make sure I have the correct color, and we're going to just erase where I need that, erase where I don't need that color to be, is what I meant. I don't know why my brain decided to do the, like, okay, so I've discovered that you can, like, use your magic wand tool to, like, click, and then fill in everything with paint,
With the paintbrush?
paint bucket is what I meant, was the paint bucket tool. I can't words sometimes. So, like, so I know you can do that. It's just that sometimes I don't know why. I think maybe it's just Manga Studio. If my lines are too thin or if there's too many details, it becomes a hassle to go in and select. So it's just easier to go in, color, then go back and erase than it is to, like, click and then have to, like, refine my selection. It's two different processes for the same end of result is really what it boils down to. I don't do it for my sketchy Starscreams just because my sketchy Starscreams are I'm spending 5 minutes on this at most stuff, and then, like, the rest of it is I'm gonna spend, like, 2 days working on this at least. So, for those, I put in a little bit more effort, but yeah, sketchy Starscreams, I'm basically like, how can I get this done in, the shortest amount of time possible? Which is funny, because it's actually taught me shortcuts and, like, different things I can do to, like, just make my life easier as an artist using Manga Studio. So it's funny how, like, things you're like, this is gonna be so, like, stupid and not great, end up becoming really great and end up helping you a lot. So I'm actually, like, really glad I decided to do a badly drawn blog because of it. It has taught me so many shortcuts. Which sounds stupid, but in art it actually, like, helps.
Well, because it means you can do art faster.
Yep.
I feel shortcuts have gotten a bad rap.
Right.
And part of it is because the joke for so long on television or in movies
was that the man knows a shortcut to a place,
Yeah.
but he's lying because he's lost and he doesn't want his wife to ask for directions.
Yeah.
Because of this, we have come to associate the term shortcut with cheating or lying.
Yeah.
When really all shortcut means is, look at this nifty trick I know.
Yeah.
Oh, this is Starlight from your Discord.
Hey! Nice to see you! Yeah, I wasn't sure if I could post links to art streams in that particular chat, but I was like, I'm gonna do it regardless.
Well, because some Discords are very, very mean
Yeah.
about it.
Like the last one I was in, that was a lot of badly drawn Transformer blogs. A lot of them were a lot younger, but when I linked to my art blog a couple of times, or to my art stream a couple of times, they yelled at me for it.
How dare you try to further your audience and be successful, you sellout?
Well, because they didn't like that I said at here or like at everyone, and people reported me for spam, and I was like, but I just wanted everyone to know that I was doing an art stream.
Yeah, that one I can see, actually. If it was just for posting it in general, then screw that. I am in some where it's like, you cannot at here because it does spam if everyone does it.
Yeah.
So no one's allowed to do it. But there's also, hey, this particular chat is where people say they have streams.
Which I was doing it in the proper thing. Just,
That's also why on ours,
yeah,
I shut off the at here's and at everyone's for all of the streams that aren't ours.
Okay.
Because with all of the people that we are cross-pollinating with, it was getting spammy.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm sorry, Alexa and Chuck and Danny and...
How many people are we hosting now?
like 9.
God, that's a lot of people.
They is my friends.
I know.
And...
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, I'm just saying it's a lot of people.
And these aren't ones we're hosting, these are ones that we are giving shout-outs to.
Yeah.
Though it does match up very closely with our host list.
Yeah.
And part of it is because some people, like good old Seaberry or Rare Fraction, they don't stream very often.
Yeah.
So you don't see them a lot, compared to, say, Chuck, who does it like 4 times a week.
Yeah.
So that's why I took the at here's off, though, because between Celeste's whenever I feel like it and I feel like it now mentality, Celeste, I love you, but you are one of the main reasons I took the at here's off. She is a streaming machine. Or Whoop, Alice. Alice does a great job of finding interesting things to do. And, like, there are some times lately where it's like, me trying to psych myself up to stream has been, would Alice stream this? If yes, then go. But I don't want to turn on the face cam right now because everything's messy and I've been too depression-brained and exhausted from work. Because new job, yay.
Yeah.
I guess it's been a month. It's not a new job anymore. Now it's just a job.
No, it's still a new job. What 1 month in it is still a new job.
All right. But anyway, so like I've been
Probably new for them.
It's new for them, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I've been too tired from that to stream regularly.
Yeah.
Because I've also haven't been able to clean the office.
Yeah.
And it's too messy, and my executive dysfunction is not doing great. And I don't mean that as an excuse. It's a reason. It's not a great reason, but it's my reason.
Yeah. And you know what? I saw a thing today that was like, if you are having a depressive episode and you can't get stuff done, your friends will understand, if they're actual friends.
Right.
And not assholes.
And I hope our fans will understand.
Yeah.
I mean, compare us to the other Twitch and YouTube people you could be following.
Rob's new job is a little bit exhausting for him, but just because it is still new, and they're in their busy period right now, but it's the job that he's wanted for a while, so I'm very happy for him. He gets to work with kids and do games all day, which is what he likes. So.
Not all day, but most of the day.
But most of the day.
Most of the day.
So we're very happy for him. And yep. In the meantime, I'm still looking for a job. And Michaela's still tutoring. And yeah. And I had a depressive episode because Mother's Day I had to deal with my mom, who is just awful. She's Mother Gothel meets Rusty Venture in human form.
Hey, don't put Rusty down like that.
Okay, maybe not Jonas Venture.
There you go.
Jonas Venture in human form. She's just a terrible human being. Like, and every time I think, oh no, she wasn't that bad, then I remember some new terrible thing that happened in my childhood / life, and I'm just like, oh no, she was worse than I thought.
There's one thing we've learned
And then
from our-
Red tells me about it, and then I just keep reminding Red of how their mother is not welcome in our house.
Yeah. Or,
and if she does have to come into our house for whatever reason,
yeah.
I will have to either be out of the house or be restrained, I think, because I will want to punch her lights out.
Which I appreciate. Thank you for wanting to punch out my mom. Yeah, so I was having a little bit of a depressive episode after that. And the depressive episodes after I deal with my mom tend to vary. It's either I bounce back right away, or I need a week, or it's I'm gonna just be non-functioning for like a month.
I'm glad this one wasn't a month.
Yeah, like the last one was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm back after like a week, and I was still managing to get some stuff done during the week, just not anything super productive. Because I did get my laundry done.
Percy, no.
What did you do to Percy?
I'm trying to repose them, because the point of toys is to play with them, Red.
Yes, I know.
Not to just leave them as two giant stone pillars astride in the desert with a plaque underneath them that says, "My name is Ozymandias. Behold my work, see mighty in despair." If Ozymandias played with his toys, we wouldn't be using him as an example of hubris.
No, he's saying that because every time Rob comes over here to play with his Transformers toys, it takes me like a couple of weeks, but then I put them back where I found them, but then I put them back to how they were.
Well, no, okay, first off, a lot of them are Titans Returns figures, so they are the updated headmasters.
Yeah.
And part of that toy function is to swap out the heads.
So we play this game where he swaps the heads of the different bots, and I go, no, where'd they go?
The best ones are like Soundwave and Optimus, where they have helmets, and so you can hide that they are not them.
Yes, it took me 2 months.
So
You thought it was Optimus, but it was me, Megatron, the whole time!
So this house doesn't need a bucket of green army men, it seems.
No.
We have Transformers.
We have Transformers.
I've been considering the bucket of Green Army Men.
So
but-
many
'Cause,
Transformers.
okay, there's a tradition at my mom's house. We got her a bucket of green army men for Christmas one year,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Oh, well, now we have to hide them all over the house." And I'm like,
And she did.
"Okay, Mom." And the goal is when you find a green army man, you pick it up and hide it in a new spot.
Oh.
So there is a whole bucket of green army men somewhere in my mom's house.
Oh, shit.
Scattered.
No. Manga Studio.
Typically, when I repose them, I try to make it look like they're shooting at somebody.
Yeah. I just post them all casual and stuff. Manga Studio, what the fuck? No, I closed all of them. It's a good new thing. I saved them all. Well,
It'll be
recent.
back. And if not, we can change gears.
Send it up. File, open recent, open, I guess. I'm gonna have to go find them, even though I know I saved them. At work.
I know what I do, and oh, what did you do?
What?
She says, I know what I do when I do,
No,
and
I didn't.
what did you do?
What are you reacting to?
Your
Ah, fuck.
Not my your
I didn't cover my leftovers from last night, so I'm just cleaning up the grease that splattered across the microwave.
Damn it. Now I gotta go in and do this again.
And mostly clean. Done. Time to eat. Time to eat pasta, except it's not pasta, it's chicken nuggets.
Yeah, I told the Dinoformers about that last night, and they were like, what?
I'm sorry, everyone talks about how white people cuisine is boiled chicken. No. It is how many cans can I just dump in a pot and leave because my children drive me to drink.
And most of us are part Irish, so we just bury everything down deep.
Deep in the creature it goes.
Unlike my family, who are Swedish and thus just don't have emotions.
They do have emotions. They're so thrilled about death.
It is true, we do have a weird-ass fascination with death. And it's so funny because, like, I don't look Scandinavian. I look short and squat and Scottish because I get that from my mom, who is small. But my dad's side of the family, you take one look at those people and you're like, oh yeah, you definitely came from Sweden.
So my favorite thing,
Yeah.
when it comes to
Emotions are bad and gay.
Affy, that is not true.
Is that happy?
Emotions are wonderful. Yeah, that's Affy's new username.
Okay.
All right,
Fluff
so
banana.
I was reading a thing about how we only attribute British accents. I'm using British not to mean English,
Yeah.
but to include English, Welsh, Irish, and Scottish.
Mm.
On fantasy races because we're used to Tolkien.
Yeah.
But what if we're reading something written by like Gygax or Greenwood or one of the American fantasy authors who also uses elves and dwarves?
Yeah.
Their argument, and I agree, is that elves should have that hoity-toity old money accent. Even though the Brooklyn accent's funnier to imagine,
Yes, it is.
the old money accent makes more sense with their mentality.
Yeah.
But my favorite one is, well, then what would the dwarves be? Because they're traditionally considered to be Scottish.
Yeah.
But where do we have a group of industrious, constantly happy mining people?
Oh no, Appalachia.
No, not the Appalachians.
Okay.
Constantly happy. That's where we're wrong here.
Oh, constantly happy?
Oh yeah, don't you know?
Oh,
We're just
God!
going down the mines there to get some mithril.
The Minnesotan accent is just so weird to me.
Well, the Minnesotan accent's what you get when a bunch of Germans and Swedes get together in America and try to learn English real fast. Like,
Yeah, it's true.
so
Very, very true.
I just want you to imagine. And also, that's where a lot of mead production happens in America. Throwing it out there. And that feels very dwarven to me, even though we normally associate mead with elves or halflings. So I just really love the idea of, like, deep Minnesotan dwarves. Oh yeah, just come around and we'll help you out there, buddy. Problem is that if you go too far north, where the snow dwarves live.
It just sounds Canadian.
No, then you're in Canada.
You're in Canada!
And of course, that means that the Duergar are the degenerates from upcountry.
Oh god damn it, everything comes back to Letterkenny.
Everything comes back to Walpole. Walpole, Letterkenny, we can make everything connect. That's the magic of ADHD. What is that blinking red light?
What blinking red
The
light?
blinking red light I noticed because of the magic of ADHD. There's a blinking red light over here somewhere. I saw. Now it's not here. But something was blinking over here and
Okay.
reflecting off of this.
Okay.
Oh! I found our culprit. Michaela doesn't have an invisible laser mouse. She has a red laser mouse.
Yeah.
And every time she had to move her mouse, it was reflecting off the TV screen. Yep. There we go. Mystery solved!
You were the only one interested in it.
And this time I didn't even need to pull the face off of a monster to reveal an old groundskeeper who has some sort of economic investment in these here lands.
Oh my god. The real villain was capitalism all
The
along.
real villain's a fucking recession that's being artificially constructed.
Yep.
What kind of horrible recession is the Scooby-Doo setting where the most possible... We'll get to magic later. The most possible way to make money is, oh, I'm gonna go be a ghost pirate and scare kids away from this beer. But I'm also sad that our last recession didn't lead to that world.
Right?
It instead led to, well, guess I better become an ununionized taxi worker.
Oh
Am I wrong?
no! No. We're basically headed towards the fifth element now, and that scares me.
Headed towards.
Oh, we are in basically the fifth
Do
element.
you know how many fucking thermostats have an ad-supported version for $30 less?
That's scary.
We're not gonna get the cool shit like the flying cars either. Flying cars. Or Mila Jovovich in that little white number. No, we're not getting any cool shit like that. Here's what we are getting. Economic collapse. Self-driving cars. Ads everywhere. You know which one that is? That's fucking Total Recall, the good one. With Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, God, no!
Because the entire thing falls around, what if we knocked you out and put you in VR for 3 hours?
Yeah. Also, I'm putting this out there, like, just, it's a little bit,
Concerning that the Schwarzenegger version's the good one.
yeah.
I mean, he's a good actor.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that's
Oh, okay.
not, why, no. Just, why do you go with that? He was a good actor. And he was, in general, a decent governor.
Yeah.
It's just Californians don't react well to anything Republican.
Oh, no, we react great to Republican things. It just has to be suggested by a Democrat.
Yeah.
Like the fact that if you go to jail in Orange County, you can pay to get a better jail cell.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that so much. God damn it, I hate Orange County. Get in the chopper!
You know what we need?
What
The OCLF.
the hell's the OCLF?
The Orange County Liberation Front.
Somehow I knew you were gonna go for that!
It's one of my favorite ones. We're loosely affiliated with the same thing, but in Florida.
Those people are weird.
Oh, as far as magic news goes,
Yeah.
I got none. No. I am currently trying to build together some decks to take to work
Yeah?
and leave there.
Okay.
Step one is just upgraded versions of the rookie decks I already use.
Okay.
Because the rookie decks are fine, but I'm going to throw this out there. They could be better. And we could tie them around mechanics that aren't named.
Okay.
So I've been working on that, and I think I got it figured out. Problem is, the Eldrazi deck's like $15. I ain't spending that.
Oh, hey, guess what?
What?
So there's a new basics. Okay, so there's this YouTube channel, if you guys are not familiar with it, called The Basics of, by Chris, well, no, actually, I guess the channel is Chris Feely.
Chris McFeely's Transformers The Basics.
Yes, which is just amazing. I love it. I recommend it to everybody who's in the Transformers fandom. Please watch it. It's fantastic. It is a man who knows everything about Transformers, talking about them with a Scottish accent, and it's everything I've ever
Irish,
loved.
actually, apparently.
Oh, he's Irish?
He's Irish.
Oh, you
He-
told me Scottish. That's why I assumed Scottish.
I was wrong.
Okay. Because I kept thinking this isn't a Scottish accent, but Robert said he's Scottish, so it must be a Scottish
He lives in
accent.
Scotland now.
Okay.
He grew up in Ireland.
Okay. So it is an Irish man speaking with an Irish accent, talking about Transformers, and it's great. And the latest one was about Cheetor, which is arguably one of my favorite characters from Beast Wars.
We're getting a new Cheetor toy this year.
I know, I'm so
He's gonna
excited!
have upgradable armor.
Yay!
This is like my favorite Transformers trope.
Yep. I just love Cheetor because he was my version of Bumblebee, thank you very much.
But we're getting to the point where we're almost 30,
Yep.
which means they're going to start catering to our nostalgia.
Yes!
Wait for the Dinobot movie.
Yes!
I'm certain you do, Appy.
Yep.
Good for you. Well, I need to go back. There's a bunch of starving Martian colonists.
Okay. My girlfriend's been sitting me through a ton of Transformers videos about many things in the fandom. That's a good girlfriend. Like, I like watching that, and I like watching Per V8's Transformers videos with Michaela, because Michaela is the one person in this house who does not get Transformers.
No.
Despite the fact that we've sat you through all of Transformers Prime and all of Transformers Rescue Bots and all.
I wouldn't say all of it. I've probably like stepped out every once in a while with some of those episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then like, didn't we watch all of Animated together?
Yes.
Yes.
The ending for that show confused me.
Well, there was supposed to be a third season, and then it got canceled because Cartoon Network hates things that we love.
It hates things that...
Well, because they also canceled the original Teen Titans.
Yeah.
Which is why there's so much Teen Titans shit in Transformers Animated.
They hate things that make them money.
Yeah, right?
Which, being business makes no sense to me.
Right?
Anyway.
Yeah. You know what else they canceled that was really good? And the animation team went on to make bank? Is that new like Thundercats reboot? Because I really liked that Thundercats reboot. I was like, yeah, this is great. I like this.
There was a Thundercats reboot, wasn't there?
Yeah, and it was good. And it's on Verb. And it's good. And then they like killed it for some unknown fathomable reason. And the same studio went on to like do Voltron on Netflix.
Well, because Netflix knows that in order to succeed, they need to make money.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like Lucifer. You know how Lucifer was like on Fox and was decent, and then it went to Netflix, and I was like, oh my god, this is everything I've ever wanted out of Lucifer.
Well, because you got to see Lucifer naked more often, Red.
Right? Oh, Tom Ellis's ass is just brilliant. Just, yeah. I really like him.
I couldn't tell. Anyway, yeah, I don't get Transformers. I understand it as a concept.
Yeah.
They're robots from space.
Yeah.
They have to hide who they are so that the earthly governments don't, take them and figure out how they work and, the usual things that, Earth does.
Yeah.
With weird things.
Yeah.
I get that. So they have to hide themselves as various automobiles.
Yeah. Or, animals or stuff.
The animals part I don't quite understand, but okay. They're robots. Why are they changing into animals? I don't get it. But okay.
I mean, that's like, and everyone's like, oh, that's only for Beast Wars. It's like, no, that's from G1. They started that bullshit in G1.
Which animals don't make sense?
All of them.
Okay, the Beast Wars ones make sense. Hear me out. Planet's covered in raw energon. Okay? It emits radiation that hurts them.
Isn't that, like, what they're supposed to be looking for anyway?
Yes, but it's raw. For the same reason that if you get a little gasoline on your hands, you're fine. If you get crude oil on your hands, it can cause cancer. That make sense?
Okay.
How about better example?
Yeah, probably a better example.
Better example. Oxygen is great for us, but in an oxygen-rich atmosphere, there would be a problem because the whole goddamn place would light up with a one match.
This is true.
Yes. So imagine that, but the entire freaking world is like, it's oxygen-rich, and you're like, yes, oxygen, and then you're like, oh no, if I stay out here too long, there's gonna be a fire.
It's like tapioca.
Tapioca.
Okay, I don't like tapioca, so this is not going to work.
Oh, I got one!
No, okay. The reason I'm saying tapioca is because if you don't wash it, or mangoes and cashews. You like cashews?
Yeah.
Okay.
How about just alcohol?
That alcohol's still a poison.
Okay.
Right. You could eat cashews, right?
Yeah.
Well, if you picked a cashew off a tree, it's covered in a horrible sticky sap that burns your hands, like poison ivy. You cannot eat a raw, shelled, unshelled cashew. You take the shell off, and then you have to cook it to get all the poison. So energon, when it's raw, is poison to them.
Okay.
And it sets out a radiation that is also poisonous to them.
Okay.
So they gotta process it so that they can eat it.
Okay.
And you accept that so far.
That.
The animal forms are basically just protective suits. They are not doing it to be in disguise. They are doing it because animals are not hurt by energon. That's why they're animals.
Where are you having a problem, Michaela?
Just the fact that they're animals.
That's it? That's literally...
That's it. They confuse me.
Because they're animals?
Because they're animals. They're robots, but they're animals.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. There is one that bothers me in Beast Wars. But I just accept it because it's awesome.
Okay.
Megatron's last form before he goes back to Cybertron.
Why?
How the fuck did he become a dragon?
Oh, yeah.
There's a dragon in that show?
Yes! Yeah. We just didn't get to it yet.
Dang it.
There's actually 2 dragons in the show.
Yeah.
What?
The second one's just not until season 4, which is technically another show.
Beast Machine.
Actually, you know what? I rewatched Beast Machines. It's not as bad as we all remember.
Okay. It's just not as good as Beast Wars.
Yeah. When you're getting it right after Beast Wars, it's like going, yes, here's your filet mignon and your Little Caesars pizza.
What?
Actually, that's probably too big of a difference. But
here's your filet mignon and your barbecue steak.
I have some issues with that.
It's still not well done steak. It's still, like, medium well.
Okay.
The filet mignon, though, that was perfect, medium rare, super tender. And then you get this, and it's like, this is still steak, but I'm kind of disappointed. But we live in a post-Transformers Energon world.
Yeah.
And a post-Bayverse world.
Oh, God, Bayverse.
Now, I will admit, I have seen the first Transformer movie. Did not care for it.
Yeah.
That seemed weird.
That was weird, and that's the best one out of them.
Yeah. Well, no, the Bumblebee...
No, Bumblebee doesn't count.
Right, because it's a reboot.
That's a soft reboot.
Soft reboot. I appreciate the soft reboot.
I'm talking out of Michael Bay's 1 through 6.
Oh, yeah. No,
There's
yeah.
6 of them?
Yeah!
There's 5 currently. They're making a 6th after Bumblebee already happened. And now, if you wonder why is Michael Bay's Transformers so bad and not Transformers?
Because Michael Bay doesn't like Transformers.
Because he was writing a G.I. Joe film and they told him to stop halfway through. Now, if you change that into, it's a G.I. Joe film, right?
Yeah.
You take out all the giant robots.
It is a G.I. Joe film, yeah.
And you turn it into a bunch of terrorists have alien technology and they're using it to destroy the world. And we need to send a crazy team motherfuckers to go stop them.
Yeah.
G.I. Joe. You could also get the A-Team out of that, honestly. But the A-Team works better without aliens.
Yeah.
Oh,
she's gonna get so mad at you when you talked about the A-Team.
I think she would agree with me. The A-Team works better when it's realistic. The craziest thing should be, like, Murdoch doing something stupid.
No, the craziest thing that should happen in the A-Team is Murdoch trying to turn off an airplane in the middle of flight.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Which
it's Murdoch's
happened
fault.
in the movie.
The craziest thing should
awesome.
be Murdoch's fault.
Yes.
It should not be aliens showed up, or
why
the
are
villain is
aliens
insane.
in this universe? No!
Right.
I refuse. If you put aliens in the A-Team, I am out. I will ask for my money back. No!
It's just a hypothetical
now,
situation.
Michaela, what I will throw out there, what's the A-Team? No, don't start us on that train. We'll give you a second. What starts us with how disappointed I am in the Michael Bay films, though.
Yeah.
Michael Bay also hit part of your childhood.
They did?
There are 2 Michael Bay directed and produced Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle films.
Yeah, and they're terrible.
Oh, is it those CGI weird-looking ones?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're not great.
Because
why does he have to destroy our lives?
Well, because they were his childhood, too. And we're just the unlucky assholes who have to put up with his reboot. As for what's the A-Team, I'm going to walk away while Michaela explains the A-Team.
The A-Team, okay. So the A-Team. It is a group of 4 military-trained individuals.
Yeah, Michael Bay does suck.
So yeah, 4 military-trained individuals who have been framed by the government and are trying to clear their names.
Is that what it is? I thought it was just 4 guys who came back from Vietnam and decided to just do random bullshit.
No, they're doing the random bullshit because they need money.
Okay.
So they do the random bullshit for the money.
Okay.
So that they can then try and figure out how to solve their individual cases of how they got framed by the government.
Okay. Also, it's the show that Mr. T is from.
Yes.
I mean, I'm assuming he did wrestling before then, but yeah.
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 He was first a wrestler and then became a TV star.
Yeah.
And one of his major roles was being B.A. Baracus.
Yeah. You know what? I really did myself a disservice when I was younger, not watching reruns of the old 80s TV shows and stuff, because I really like old 80s, 70s TV shows, because I missed out on the original Star Treks and the newer Star Treks. If I'm gonna be honest, I missed out on all the Star Trek. And I missed out on MASH, and I missed out on the A-Team. I missed out on the Golden Girls, like all these like really, yeah. If you were if you were born in 1999, you probably never even saw the show. I never saw the show, but the A-Team was a show in the 80s. It was vastly popular. It's from where Mr. T is from. You know, the guy who don't pity no fools. Oh, he pitied them fools, right?
I pity the fool.
I pity the fool. Yeah.
Yes, that was Mr. T.
Yeah. Oh, right. If you're not from America, I guess it wasn't really a big thing. But like here in America, it was huge.
But yeah, so anyway,
Yeah.
the A-Team consists of 4 people. John Hannibal Smith, and yes, if you took out Hannibal, his name is literally John Smith. I'm forgetting what Face's name is. But anyway, there's Hannibal, there's Face, there is Howling Mad Murdoch, who is a crazy person and drives planes.
Yep.
And then there is B.A. Baracus. B.A. stands for not badass, like everybody likes to think, but bad attitude.
Yeah.
He's the guns and weapons expert.
Yeah. It was an interesting show from the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah. In America, that a lot of people liked. If you're from the 90s, if you're from one of those newer generations, you know, Gen Z, or you're one of those younger millennials, because we are unfortunately in the elder millennial part of that. Sorry. Yeah, you did. And it's a thing in this house where we just end up singing along with one another, even if we don't know what the hell is happening. Anyway, so yeah, like I missed out on a lot of like TV shows from the 70s and 80s because I just like either my mom didn't like them, and so she just like, yep. So you're like right at the edge of the millennial generation there.
Okay, so Frost Games. Here is the list of shows that I highly suggest you go watch. The A-Team, MASH.
Yeah, MASH is surprisingly good. I didn't think I was gonna like it because my babysitter watched it all the time, and I hated her, so I just assumed it was a terrible show. But no, MASH is really good. It's just it got ruined for me because my babysitter was an asshole. Yep.
Let's see, what other shows are there?
Golden Girls is actually pretty good, although it's not really for me.
Pretty good.
Yeah. What else? Okay, so you got MASH, Golden Girls, the original Star Trek, like Star Trek the original series. It was born December 30th. Yeah. the original, Star Trek, the original series, Star Trek Next Generation, like, out of all of the Star Trek series I've watched, the only two that I don't particularly care for, and, like, that's a big if, is Deep Space Nine and Enterprise, which is weird because that's, like, the stuff that would have been on TV when I was, young. And I think the reason why I don't really care for Deep Space Nine is because when it gets to season 4, they bring in Worf, who's never my favorite character out of the Next Generation, and they started, like, they made the Klingons the enemies again, and then they started this whole war thing, which was never what Star Trek was really about, and it annoyed me to no end that now I have to put up with this bullshit. I was like, I was all set for the misadventures of people just existing on this space station that's not a human space station, and everybody is mostly aliens, with humans trying to keep the peace, and I liked it. It was neat. It was a new dynamic. You sat in place instead of going to different planets, and instead of having the ship break down every other 5 seconds, the drama mostly came from the fact that the aliens don't really like each other. Or, was it Worf, who's a Ferengi, whose main thing is capitalism, has caused some bullshit. Like, I liked that about the show. And then they decided they needed to change the format in season 4, and it became, well, now we're at war, so now we have to deal with all this war bullshit. And I was like, no, I hate this. I don't like any part of this. And it was just not as fun for me anymore, because I really liked it when we were just messing around with the Cardassians. Now I have to deal with this Dominion and Klingon bullshit, and I'm like, just give me back my stupid Cardassian Bajoran bullshit. That's all I want. So I don't really like Deep Space Nine after season 4. Stopped watching because it just didn't interest me as much. And then I started watching Enterprise instead of going to Voyager like I should have. Which was my mistake because Voyager's amazing. But I went straight to Enterprise because I was like, Enterprise has Vulcans, and I like Vulcans. Because I liked the few Vulcans that they had in the Next Generation, and I loved Spock and all of the Vulcans that they brought in the original series. So I was like, I need more Vulcans. Enterprise has a crap ton of Vulcans. Give me the Vulcans. So I started watching Enterprise, and very quickly I was like, oh no, I don't like this either. Because it was a little bit like the original series, except not in any way. It was like somebody had read the, I want to say like the Spark Notes version of the original series, and we're like, yes, this. And I was like, oh no, you missed all of the charm. And just grabbed the bullshit. Because the charm of Star Trek was that, like, if you didn't like an episode, you could just come back to a different episode, because all the episodes were written by different people. And there's certain writers that I like, and certain writers that I don't, and some episodes are really, really great, and some episodes are meh. But the best part is, like, it's the actors having to deal with these new situations while staying in character. And that's what I like the most about it. And some of the episodes are, like, really poignant. And I think that's what I really liked about Star Trek The Next Generation, is because it really did capture that same spirit, but with new characters and in new settings. Like, I know a lot of people like to shit on Q, but Q is fantastic, and if you have to watch The Next Generation, the Q episodes are my favorites. I love them so much. I can't watch My Little Pony anymore without Discord showing up and me immediately going, "Hi, Q!" Because it's the same guy, and he plays
same voice actor playing basically the same role.
It's the exact same character. It's just the character is now in My Little Pony and is now a Draconopus or whatever. It's just, I can't handle it. It's too funny for me. And yeah, so I love the Q episodes. They're great. One of the other things I absolutely freaking love about The Next Generation is you do have these like really poignant episodes that really mean a lot, especially if you look at them in context. Like, because The Next Generation took place in like, or it was shot during the 80s. Not the 90s. And I think the thing is that we take a lot of the stuff that we got in the 90s for granted. Like, for instance, in the 80s, being trans was seen as a mental illness, even though people in the mental health industry already kind of knew that it's not. Like, having dysphoria is a symptom of being transgender, but that's not a mental illness. It's just a symptom of your body not connecting with your mind when it comes to, certain specific gender traits. And, during the 80s, that you had a lot of people fighting for the right to not be labeled insane and put away in an insane asylum just because they were transgender. And it was a huge issue during the time period. And it wasn't really understood, and it was this big thing. And Star Trek, which it's always done, Star Trek has always been a show, or at least it used to be, that took risks. And one of the risks that it took in the original series was it had the first female black character in a show that was not a maid, and that was Uhura. She was an officer, which was just really unheard of. They had and then when the Red Scare started, they brought on Chekhov, who was Russian, as if to prove, like, it's not going to matter in 100 years. This bullshit will not matter. And it was great. And then they also had Sulu on the show, who's Japanese, even though there was a lot of pushback against George Takei being on the show, because they were like, no, we want to prove that in the future this stuff will not matter. And sometimes on the show it would like absolutely throw me off, because I would be convinced, because this show was shot in the 60s and 70s, that they were going to pull some racist bullshit, and they didn't. Like, I remember thinking in a specific episode when there was this choice of they're gonna kill either the white woman or the black guy, that they were gonna kill the black guy. Because it's a 60s, 70s show. We still had this is before a lot of the civil rights movement. So I was like, they're gonna kill the black guy. And they did it, and it flipped me out. I was like, oh my god, they killed the white woman! Yeah! And I was like, I shouldn't be excited about that, but I am! I was like, holy shit! And you got some of that still with shows like The Next Generation, that they took this chance on an episode where you have this race of aliens that don't have gender, but there's a specific like subsection of them that do identify as a gender, and it's seen to them as a mental illness that needs to be fixed. So they're sent to these correction places where they're basically undergoing really medieval, horrible, torturous, therapies in order to fix them. And it really pointed out how terrible and horrible it is. And this is like in the 1980s when, being transgender was seen in exactly the same way. And there was this speech that one of the characters made that was so poignant, and I remember it touched me, and I wound up crying, which is saying something, because I don't cry a lot. And when I do, I immediately start feeling bad, and if you point it out, I get violent. Well, not really violent, but I start going, stop it. Like, you caught me crying. What is my reaction to you pointing out that I'm crying?
No!
Shut up! Leave me alone! Don't point out that I'm crying. I know I'm crying. And that's because my mom always made fun of me if I cried at something that was on TV or in a movie.
Yeah, you told me that when you went.
Yeah, when my mom and I went to go see Endgame, at the really sad moments, I started to cry, and my mom was like, "Are you crying?" And I'm like, "No, Linda, I'm just having a moment." Like, yes, I'm crying. It's sad. What's wrong with you? Like, yeah, so,
So yeah, we've now given Red fodder for if that ever happens again.
yeah. No, yeah, so...
Are you crying? You're not? Bitch, it's sad!
Right?
People are dead!
Like, yeah, so, like, yeah, that's how I was with that episode of Star Trek The Next Generation. And it's like, and I got some of that with some of the earlier episodes of Deep Space Nine. But once it hit season 4, not really. And I definitely got some of that with Voyager. God, Voyager hit on a lot of those notes. Like, damn, I love Voyager. Voyager is just so great. Like, I think out of pretty much all of the Star Treks, Voyager is my favorite. And that's saying something, because, like, I love The Next Generation. I love the original series, but if I had to pick a Star Trek captain to be my captain, it would be Janeway. Hands down, every time, I would pick Janeway, because she's the boss. Like, I think the point where I absolutely fell in love with her was the episode where it's her against these parasitic things that are floating around the ship, and there's no one that can help her except for the holographic doctor, and he is stuck in the med bay still. Because this is still fairly early in the show. You know, before he's able to, like, walk around the ship, and then he gets mobile and so he's able to go out with them on, like, missions and crap. But this is before that, where he's just trapped on the medical bay. So she's got nobody to help her at all. She has to go running through the ship with a freaking flamethrower, and I was like, this is alien vibes, yeah! Because, oh man, I love Alien. I love Alien so much. It is such a female empowerment movie, which even being bi-gender on my guy days, I still live for female empowerment. Watching Xena was my jam as a kid. Like, I grew up watching Xena and Sailor Moon at the same time. So I was all in that, like, warrior princess, like, fight evil with love kind of stage. But because I was, like, bi-gender, there was, like, 3 little girls, it was, like, me and 2 other little girls I played with. I was always both one of the princesses and the prince and also the villain.
Well, because the villain always got the best lines, the best songs, the best everything.
Yep, villains do get the best of everything. Like, for real. Like, if I got the chance to play in a role, like, on stage, I would pick the villain, hands down, every single friggin' time.
I mean, I also... see, the thing is, having been in a lot of plays...
Yeah?
I asked for a lot of the main the protagonist characters.
Yeah.
And I always got cast as the villain.
Yeah. I have seen...
Every single goddamn time. Just want to play a good guy once. Can I do that? No.
I've seen She-Ra. I love the new She-Ra. I actually binge watched the second season without Robin McKellar, for which I am very sorry. But
well, I'm sure it'll be fine, Red.
Yeah.
We'll just all watch it again.
Yeah, it's true, we will. No, I love She-Ra. She-Ra was great. I also really like the new version, the new Voltron series. Voltron Legendary Defender. I love it so much. It's great. It's got great gay vibes, which I love.
Yeah, you and Bella would get along swimmingly, Red.
I love anything that gives off great gay vibes. I don't know why. It's probably because there's that stupid pansexual part of my brain that goes, everybody with everybody. Like,
all the boys with all the girls and the boys. And all the girls with the boys and the girls.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah, it's like...
Everybody's screwing everybody.
Yeah. Like, there's some people who's like, oh, I would never ship that because blah, 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 blah reason. And I'm like, there's a deep, dark center of my brain that just goes, nope, everybody with everybody. And I think it's the part of my brain that went, I once wrote Danny Phantom fanfiction. I don't give a shit anymore. And it's not like it was good. It was not good. I wrote terrible fan fiction back in the day. It was bad. It was real bad. It was real bad, and it was like Vlad/Danny, which made it worse.
Oh, goodness.
And I was just like, so like after a certain point, your brain just goes, nope, I don't give a shit anymore. I don't care. I have read and done terrible things. I'm just gonna live with it. I've done this. I can't go back. There's no going back for me. There's no saving me. This is where I am now. This is who I am now. I'm sorry. There's no going back. It's like when I tried to go vegetarian, and then I was like, after a week of it, I was like, I've been eating ramen with flavors like beef and chicken.
I miss beef and chicken.
Right? No, but the thing is, those flavor packets are made from beef and chicken. I wasn't really being a vegetarian. I was being a fake vegetarian. And I was like, you know what? There's probably no going back for me. I have bleached rib bones and eaten bone marrow. I don't think there is going back for me. I've legit seen an eel killed in front of me, and then I ate it. I ate it. I didn't even hesitate. My host father was looking at me with this expression like, I bet this American idiot won't eat this thing. And I was like, oh, now I gotta prove myself because now it's a challenge. And I ate it. Wasn't great, but I ate it. Just gonna put this out there, guys. Eel doesn't taste all that great. Especially if you're not a fan of fish. Which I'm not. I hate fish. I especially hate cooked fish. Like, I'll eat sushi, but I mainly eat sushi because it's just rice and wasabi with a fish chaser. Like, that's really all sushi is. Sushi is a wasabi mechanism for getting... So I don't like cooked fish, but I ate cooked eel because my host father was looking at me like I wouldn't do it. And there's that stupid boy part of my brain that goes, "Oh, now you've made it a challenge. Now I have to do it." Like, what was it? Okay, so I went on this Japanese exchange trip in between high school and middle school. So it was the summer in between. Like after my 8th grade year and before my 9th grade year. So as I was transitioning out of middle school and into high school. And what the exchange trip was I had a Japanese student come and stay with me for 10 days, and then I went and stayed with her family in Japan for 10 days. And the number one thing my host father, because like you give these like, you have these like interview packets that you had to fill out in order to get in the program. And my whole selling point was I was a part of the violin program, which was, they only had it at our school. There was only like 10 kids in it, and I was the only one to apply. So they were like, yo, no, yeah, we need you. We need to show that Americans aren't, culturally stupid. So I was a shoo-in, even though my grades were shit my 8th grade year, because I was going through some shit. But, so... I went on this trip to Meguraku, Japan, which I finally freaking remembered the name of the town, and it's just a neighborhood in Tokyo because Tokyo is so freaking huge. But my host father, he saw my thing that I put down. I liked ghosts because at the time I was obsessed with ghosts, like Ghost Hunters and the World's Most Haunted. Those were really big shows at the time, and I'd gotten this book on like how to do actual ghost hunting, which was very much like a lot of this stuff is bullshit, but this is how like actual real ghost hunters will do it. And I was like, yeah, which is why I think I get mad at it's Ryan's the short one, right? On
Oh, yes.
BuzzFeed
yes.
Unsolved.
Ryan Bergara.
Ryan Bergara. I hate that stupid spirit box he has. I hate it so much because it's so weird because it's like, I mostly side with Shane, but yet I believe in ghosts. Which feels weird. No, so like...
Well, see, the thing between Shane and Ryan,
Yeah.
Shane does not believe in ghosts
Yeah.
because he feels, or he believes that they're not real.
Yeah.
Once a person has passed on, they've passed on. They're not coming back to try, and haunt a place or a person or whatever.
Yeah.
But he is open to a ghost existing.
Yeah.
He like every time he's in one of those videos, he's always like, "Come on, ghosts, come and attack me, because I hear that's what you do in this house. Come on, give me your best shot.
Yeah.
I'll take a scratch. Come on."
Yeah. Which is kind of my approach to ghost hunting, but I actively do believe in ghosts because, like, no, I'm not gonna, that's a tangent. But anyway, so, like, I was really big into that at the time.
Yeah.
And my host father, like, the day of that I get there, he was like, "So you like ghosts?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." And he's like, "Oh, Japanese ghosts, way scarier than American ghosts." And I was like, "Okay, weird brag, but cool." Like, and it was so funny because I came to Japan with Carrie in my backpack as, like, nighttime reading. Like, what I was reading before I went to bed was Carrie, because I wanted to finish it. And my host father was like, "Yeah, Japanese ghosts much scarier than American ghosts." And they lived in California for 2 years, so they spoke perfect English. And we're like, "No, we know Japanese ghosts are scarier." And I was like, "Okay, whatever." So he, like, went out of his way to take me to haunted places to scare the shit out of me. Everything was a challenge anytime he was there, which, he worked, like, a full-time job, so he was only there, like, 3 days out of the 7, or out of the 10 days that I was there. But I didn't care because my host mother was there the whole time, and she was great. I loved her. Keiko was awesome. I loved Keiko. And Fuzuki's little sister, not Chan, not Suki. She was so fucking cute. She's 3 years old and spoke English and Japanese, and she was the cutest freaking kid! She loved Mrs. Frizzle! It was so cute! I came with Magic School Bus books as a gift for her, and she was like, "Yeah!" Just started tearing through them, and I was like, "This is the cutest kid! I love this kid!" God, she was so cute. No, so, like, yeah, so my host father was like, no, so he started taking me to all these, like, super haunted places in Japan. Like, there's, what was it? Oh my god, the one that was awful was, he took me and a couple of the other kids with their host families went to this theme park that's, like, right next to the Thunder Gates in Tokyo. And it's, like, this 1950s theme park that has not been updated, let me tell you. And it's, like, supposed to be haunted or something. And this was where my host father said I needed to go. And he was like, "Yeah, go on all the haunted rides." And I did. And this entire theme park, all the rides, I'm just now realizing, because I didn't at the time, but I'm realizing now, were all, like, horror themed. And they were kind of cheesy. Most of them were pretty cheesy. But the one that wasn't was this is, like, haunted maze they had to walk through. And it was kind of cheesy at first until you get to this room where it's, like, almost pitch black, but not quite. And there's just body bags, weighted body bags, hanging from the ceiling.
Well, that's lovely.
Right? Oh, it scared the crap out of me. I went through with, like, Jenny and Nick and Daniel, and we were all like, "Oh, damn!" Because the rest of this had been a cakewalk. We went into this room and we were like, "Nope! Run for the exit! Go!" Like, this shit not gonna fly. This shit's scary. And after that, then my host father took me to, I think it was called Kamakura. My memory is just not great, and names are the worst, but I think he took me to Kamakura. There's, like, this huge shrine with, like, one of the world's, like, largest Buddha statues that you could go inside. And it was, like, 100 degrees with, like, 99% humidity, and I was just dying because I'm used to dry heat.
Mm-hmm.
Which, oh god, humidity sucks. Over 100 degrees. I was not having a great time. And we went inside this Buddha statue to take a picture, and I was like, oh my god, it's like 250 degrees inside this thing. Take the picture, I need to get out. And, you know, after that we went from that shrine where he was telling me about how, like, the statues are filled with the souls of children, which, great, thanks, that's not terrifying, to this, like, old Japanese general's mansion, I guess, and, like, there's just this, like, mile-long cemetery behind, like, you know, for, like, over a mile, just headstones, and he's like, yeah, we're gonna go walk past those up to this cave, and I was like, okay, it's, like, the second cemetery I've gone to, so cool. And so, like, we go past this huge cemetery up to this cave, and there's just this, like, giant freaking gate in front of the freaking cave, and I was like, oh, well, that's not terrifying at all. I don't know why there's a freaking, like, gate in front of this cave. It's a cave. What were they trying to keep in? What were they trying to keep out? Like, did they store gold there? I'm very confused. And then my host father's like, oh yeah, well they threw, like, early Christians in there because they wanted this entire, like, portion of Japan to just be Buddhist. So they just threw the Christians in there and left them to die. And I'm like, is this when you pushed me in? Like, what is happening? It was very terrifying. And I was like, okay, I'm willing to admit, Japanese ghosts are scarier. Please don't kill me. That was the only day we had to pull out the little, like, handheld translators that they had to. Because, oh god, I didn't know that cicadas were, like, a thing. Because California does not have cicadas. We don't. I didn't, like, and I've been to Philadelphia in the summer, and Philadelphia doesn't really have cicadas. They kind of do, but not really. It's only really in the south, and I've kind of heard them, but not really before. I knew cicadas were a thing. I just didn't realize that in Japan they are a thing, and that thing you hear in animes when it's, like, the summer in Japan, where it's that, like, weird in the background, is cicadas. It's just cicadas everywhere. I didn't realize it. I didn't know. I was just like, what the hell is that weird-ass background noise? It was there the minute we got there. And when you get there, it's, like, deafening. Because it's just, like, you go from pure silence inside the airport. You leave the airport the second the doors open. Just constant noise in the background, and it does not stop. 24 hours of just screeching.
Talking about cicadas here.
Yeah.
I looked that up because it bothered me. It was like, I know we get them in Nevada.
Yeah.
I've
never heard them in California.
They are in California. We don't have the same types of cicadas as everyone else.
Oh, okay.
We have what are called Dog Day cicadas.
Oh, God!
They have nothing to do with dogs.
Yeah.
So everyone else's cicadas have, like, oh, they wake up every 7 to 17 years.
Yeah.
We have yearly cicadas.
Oh, okay.
But ours aren't as loud.
Yeah.
Unless you go just a smidge further north than the Mojave Desert.
Hmm.
The ones we have here are, because I know I've heard what I thought was a cicada.
Yeah.
They just sound like low-pitched crickets here.
Oh, that's what that is. I always just assumed they were crickets.
Yeah, so, like, the really high-pitched ones are crickets, the low-pitched ones are cicadas.
Oh, okay.
But ours are only in the summer.
Yeah.
Ours are yearly. And they aren't as loud, unless for some reason every cicada decided the tree in your front yard was the best place to fuck. But the Southern California ones apparently are just like chirp, chirp.
Yeah.
Whereas the crickets are chirp, 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 chirp.
Yeah, and, like, even the ones I heard in Philadelphia were, like, only at night.
Yeah.
And never constant.
Right.
Whereas
American cicadas are nocturnal typically.
Yeah. And it's not, like, a constant thing in the background. Whereas in Japan,
Japanese cicadas are
just every 24 hours. 24 hours a day, non-stop, loud, cacophonous chirping. And it became white noise after, like...
They just want to be fucking, Red.
Right? After, like, the second day, it was just... I didn't notice them anymore. Because it was just, like, constant white noise in the background. It's like if you have radio static on all the time. And it never ends, and you can't turn it off. You are stuck in a twilight zone. This radio static is a constant thing. It is just the background radiation of your life now. That's what it's like to be in Japan this summer. Like, I'm not gonna say I didn't have a great time in Japan. I did. It was an amazing time. But, oh, right. So the whole reason why they had to pull out the translator that day was because I found a cicada pupa, and I didn't know what it was. We had the worst time coming up with the word pupa, because it doesn't really exist in Japanese. And we had to, like, come up with, what the hell is this thing? Yes, this is Code Blue. That is Steph, or Tiny Dog.
Tiny Dog is at work and can't have the sound, so...
Yes. Yeah. So, like, I did have, like, an absolute, like, amazing time in Japan. Like, I'm not gonna say that I didn't have a great time, because I did. Like, I went to Tokyo Tower, which was neat. I'm like one of those types of people who I prefer going to historical sites when I go. Mm-hmm. If they happen to be touristy, whatever. But I prefer the ones that, like, most tourists don't go to.
So I find it funny that, I want to say Tiny Dog is Trepan.
No.
No?
That is Steph.
That is Steph, okay. Sorry. But no, every time you say Japan, my brain has been hearing Trepan, normally talking about them.
Yeah.
And I'm imagining you're doing some sort of Fantastic Voyage type of bullshit, where you shrank down and went into their bloodstream and found out where that aneurysm came from.
I do want to visit Japan, but they live in Australia.
Well, I want to visit Australia, so we may have an ability here.
Yay! And by Japan, I mean... Yeah. By Japan, I mean my friend Meminisms, who is on Tumblr and Discord, and I love them very much. Shrimon is the best. They're hilarious. They're like Tabby, in which they are like a terrible influence on me. They bring out my worst worst impulses.
That's okay, Red. You have me.
Yep.
To keep you on the straight and narrow.
Oh, that is a fucking lie. Yesterday you pulled out something that was way worse than what I was saying. And now it's an inside joke.
Yep.
Yeah, you walked in at the wrong moment, Rob.
No, I just had flashbacks to what I read about a half hour ago that I swore I would not say on stream.
Well, now I need to get him to say it on stream.
Okay, fine. Any of you have weak constitutions, leave the chat for 2 minutes. Giving you till the count of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay, tell the horrible story.
Alright, if y'all are still in Twitch, y'all have been warned. If you're still watching, just jump ahead if this is on YouTube in the future.
Yeah.
But, like, this is an immediate demonetization type of a story.
Oh, no!
So, I was on Tumblr.
Yeah.
And somebody posted some stupid meme of, they put Doja's face on a Rainbow Dash toy.
Okay.
And it was like, oh boy, I can't wait to meet who's going to play with me. Hey, what's with that jar? And I thought, wait, what's with the jar? The jar has to mean something.
Oh, you sweet, innocent child.
Because I did not run into the jar before. So I thought about it, going like, okay, so what would be related with the jar and My Little Pony? My first thought was it was the guy who tried to stick a jar up his ass. But I realized that's nothing to do with My Little Pony. Then I thought maybe it's some guy who takes sick pleasure in dipping toys into acetone like he's Judge Doom. I kind of wish that's what it was. Because at least that one, I would just feel bad for the toys. But no, it was some asshole on 4chan who thought to himself, and again, I warned you. I fucking warned you. Some guy on 4chan who decided, well, I have all these My Little Pony toys,
Oh no.
and a Yankee Candle jar,
Oh
and
no.
I do masturbate a lot.
Oh no.
And apparently over the course of 2 years,
Christ.
would just jerk it into this horrible smelling jar that he had put a My Little Pony in. Siemens Alkaline, it dissolved the glue holding the pony together.
Ah!
I warned you.
This is a terrible story.
It is. It is.
Alright.
That was horrible.
Yep, the chitlins can come back now. I'm sorry you had to hear that, guys.
I get that under 2 minutes. They'll be back.
Yep.
But yeah, so that's why I kind of froze there in the Shin Godzilla pose. Like I had run out of nuclear power.
That is exactly what that was.
Ah.
You just kind of like froze with your hands up in a claw-like motion.
By the way, we just saw Shin Godzilla and it was amazing. Hell of a transition.
Like, it's so funny because it's like they market it as like kind of like a horror film, and you're watching it, it's like, this isn't really horrifying, it's just kind of funny.
Well, it is a horror film. It's a Japanese style horror film. But horror.
What you was gonna say as soon as you said jar.
You had me at jar. Anyway,
Oh,
that'd be the most fucked up romance. Anyway. But no, so, like, Shin Godzilla 1, I still argue it is a horror story.
no. Yeah.
It's just not a horror story in the same way as, like, Friday the 13th, or Saw,
Or Psycho.
or Psycho I was kind of suspense, but yeah. It's environmental horror.
Okay.
It is, and that's what they all have been. All the Godzilla films are, like, the earliest environmental disaster movies,
Yeah.
except the difference between, say, Volcano, or Airport 76, or Twister, man did not make these problems,
Yeah.
right?
It's on the same level as Tremors?
No, because even Tremors, man did not make that problem.
Yeah, man did not make that problem. That was, these things just kind of burst out the ground.
Godzilla and most of the kaiju films, with the exception of Ghidorah, are unique in the fact that this was our fault.
Yeah.
King Kong does not show up in New York until we drag him out of his natural environment.
Yep.
Godzilla only wakes up because, insert country here, did fucked up shit with nukes.
Yep.
54 was us, nuking Bikini Atoll. I mean, actually, we are 100% responsible for Godzilla existing.
Yep.
Which I'll get that in a second. 84 is the Russians doing a nuke in the Bering Sea.
Yep.
2000 is arguably the son of 84, so we're going to ignore him.
Okay.
98 is the French doing a nuclear test.
Okay.
And Shin is the Japanese dumping nuclear waste into a deep sea strait.
Yeah.
So he's the only one that's not based on a nuke. He's based on a nuclear power plant being sloppy.
Yeah.
And considering that Shin is meant to be representative of the Fukushima disaster.
Yeah.
For the fact that it just kept getting worse.
It did. It did just keep getting worse.
But it was the combined ingenuity and willingness to sacrifice of the Japanese people that stopped it.
Yeah.
That is Shin Godzilla's whole plot.
Yeah.
American Godzilla, the first one, kind of sucks.
Yep.
We're not going to talk about her. Though it is also canonically the only female Godzilla.
Yeah.
Even though the creator keeps saying, no, Godzilla's a man. It's like, no, yours lays eggs.
Yours is a
Eggs
female.
indicates female.
Yeah. Or at the very least, hermaphrodite.
Right, and then when we started saying hermaphroditic Godzilla, no, use masculine pronouns for Godzilla.
Well, I'm sorry, yours is either a hermaphrodite or a female. You don't get to choose. You
also,
made it lay eggs.
All Godzillas have, like, an animal-like intelligence.
Yeah.
So, this is going to sound bad of me. Anything that's intelligence score would be counted as 2 or lower in the monster manual.
Yeah.
I'm not going to worry about pronouns with it.
Yeah.
You have to be sentient to have pronouns. I'm sorry. Now, if you are a human, you are sentient. Congratulations, I will respect those things.
Yes.
Unless you do that whole attack helicopter bullshit. Anyway. So, original Godzilla.
Yeah.
Everyone assumes it was because of Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Yeah.
That they made those films. That is not it.
Okay.
The man who created Godzilla, one, did lose a couple family members in those bombings. But thought, well, it's done. Nothing like this will ever happen again.
And then the Cold War happened.
Right, but it was the matter of, they're not going to bomb each other.
Yeah.
They're both waiting. Right?
Yeah. And I mean, we did a bunch of tests on some smaller islands.
Right. One of those tests, the wind changed direction after it.
Oh, shit.
And we thought the wind was going to go south, but it went north.
Uh-oh.
And in the path of north was a small Japanese fishing vessel, which you'll notice almost every Godzilla movie starts with, a small fishing vessel is hit.
Oh, yeah.
This is because on that fishing vessel was the creator of Godzilla's older brother, who was a fisherman.
Oh, no.
And he died of radiation poisoning.
Oh, no.
And so, the original Godzilla was, look at how irresponsible mankind is being with these things.
Yeah, we kind of were.
We were.
We still kind of are.
Not as bad.
Not quite as bad, but still fairly bad.
Still not great.
Yeah, not great.
Um,
Although, did you hear you can adopt dogs from Chernobyl now?
Not sure if what?
They've been
Are they green and constantly oozing like the mutant dogs in Fallout?
No, they've been decontaminated.
Who ate all his lead today? You did! No. Oh, God.
But I saw that on Facebook and I was just like, okay. That's weird. But okay.
Who wants a spider dog? That's right, all these dogs were bit by radioactive spiders in Chernobyl. They climb walls, they shoot webs, they make jokes based off of old vaudeville routines. Set right up.
Knew you were gonna go with that. Because you did the Spider-Ham voice. Which is John Mulaney.
No, I was just doing a Carnival Barker voice.
Oh.
That's just Carnival Barker.
Okay.
I would assume you would have thought I'd go with Spider-Man because he's the most famous radioactive hero we have in America.
Yeah. No, I said Spider-Ham.
Well, I know, but that's not the connection I would have made.
Yeah, all right.
Especially since Spider-Ham was not bit by a radioactive spider.
Yeah.
He was a spider bitten by a radioactive pig. Very important distinction.
Was that really the story?
Yeah, that is legit Peter Porker's origin story.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He is a spider who was bit by a pig, and it gave him a pig-like body.
Oh,
That's
my
also
God.
why he has no scruples about eating pork. Because he's not a pig.
Okay.
He's a spider.
I mean, at least it's not Spiders, man.
Spiders Man is the literal equivalent of Peter Porker. Except, in this case, it was 1,000 radioactive spiders that ate Peter Parker.
Yeah, oh god.
And then, like, 3 other people.
Yeah. Spiders Man is terrifying. It's hard to enjoy a stream when you can't hear anything. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, you can't hear me.
Maybe if we shout louder, we're sorry!
I don't think
I
that's
don't
right.
think that works.
That's just that they don't understand English.
Oh, shh. What was it? I was watching a I don't work here today. I don't work here lady r/ video today.
R/ is great.
Yeah. And one of the ones was this falconer was at a is Red talking? Are they playing music? Is there porn on background? Is someone being murdered? Who knows? Not me. Yeah, I know. It's because Steph is at work. It's just amusing to me. She can watch this later and hear us talking about her. Not in a bad way, because we love Steph.
Oh, not in a bad way.
We love
I
Steph.
better put these notes away.
There are no notes, Tiny Dog.
We're talking about various nerdy topics, yeah. Like we love Steph very, very much. She's great. I love her very much. She mothers me more than my roommates, which is saying something. Because my roommates have become my new family. I love you guys.
We're loved.
Yep. Because my own mother didn't really do a good job, so.
A lot of people are mad.
Why? What happened?
Well, they're mad because Robert Pattinson has been cast to be Batman.
Which is not really. It doesn't make me mad. It cracks me up.
Now, the reason they're mad is going, what? Batman's going to be played by a sparkly vampire.
Which, that's not even the thing that I'm mad about.
Which, no.
That I would be mad about.
The other argument, though, that I constantly hear is, yeah, you're right. Robert Pattinson's a terrible person to play a guy who likes to dress up in all black and pretend he's a bat to scare people.
Which is like exactly the definition of a vampire.
Yup.
Like, I honestly have no problems with Robert Pattinson because that guy hated doing the Twilight film.
Why did I sign this contract?
And I just feel so bad for him. It's so funny because, like, pretty much everybody who worked on Twilight hated working on Twilight. It just makes you think, why did we even make these movies? And the answer is because the books made a lot of money. And the books made a lot of money because young adolescent girls needed something after Harry Potter. And I guess Twilight was it.
Which makes me mad because Dritz Do'Urden was right there.
Yeah, that wasn't gonna be a teenage girl thing.
But it should have been.
But it wasn't gonna.
Half the thing is just him being angsty writing in his diary.
Like, I know, but Rob, you needed to read like 5 books before him.
No, you didn't.
It felt like it.
No, it just starts right with him.
Oh, well, yeah.
I don't know what you read first, but that person lied to you.
It was Nick, so I am willing to believe that.
Oh, did he make you read Catterley first?
Yes!
No, Catterley is second.
No, he made me read those first.
Like, I like Catterley, but like even his stuff is built out of frustration of the author at being forced to write 3 more novels than he wanted to. Oh, no. And then the other thing was written out of frustration with, though I would not require you to read this.
Yeah.
So the publishing company that TSR used was also the one that LucasArts used.
Okay.
So if you wrote D&D novels, there was a good chance you would get pulled in for Star Wars novels.
Sounds about right.
And Bob Salvatore, after finishing the 6th Dritz novel, I want to say,
Yeah.
they said, hey, we want you to write some Star Wars novels. And of course, if somebody offers you Star Wars, you don't say no. Right? It's like, that's a big deal. And he's writing it, and he writes this draft, and he loved the draft, and he turned and went, oh, okay, so we got a couple of things from the head writer who's doing the main trilogy right now. Uh-huh. We need you to kill Chewbacca. What? We need you to kill Chewbacca.
Why?
Because the main guy's story needed Chewie to die. And I'm guessing they put on a blindfold and threw a dart at a dartboard covered with all the other authors' names for who had to kill him. And it landed on R.A. Salvatore. And, like, I feel bad because, 1, it's the worst death ever. A moon falls on him. But 2, I like to imagine that it's the equivalent of the editors pulling him into a darkened barn and Chewbacca is just there tied to a chair. You have to do it, Bob. Don't you want to keep working for us? Don't you love the life we've given you? Do it. Prove your loyalty to us, Bob. So, like, yeah, 1, you do not need to read the Catterley novels first. In fact, I suggest you don't.
Okay.
Not that Catterley's bad. I love the 5 novels with Catterley in them. But, like, right after them is when Catterley starts showing up in the Dritz novels.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things of, like, why would we make you read these first and then not deal with this guy for 6 books? Yeah.
I just did what Nick told me to do.
That's typically not the best idea.
I know.
The one time that... No, even then, Nick told me, don't worry, I'll GM Robert. And he never did. No, he did a couple of times. I'm sorry. He did a few times, and almost every time it ended with a TPK.
Or, like, the time where he was like, oh, don't worry, I'll help you, GM, and then got mad at me when I showed up unprepared.
He said he'd help you.
Yeah.
What did he think help meant?
Because I'd never DM'd before. I didn't know what I was doing.
I can't remember. Did I ever give you DMing tips?
Kinda.
Alright.
Like, later.
Okay. They're not right away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, by that point, I'd already DM'd a couple of sessions. Yes, now we have gotten into the D&D section of our nerdiness, because we are ultra nerds.
That's part of my job.
Ultimate
The
Nerd!
last 2 days, I spent printing out and then 3-hole punching the D&D 5th edition basic rules and putting them in a binder so that the kids could play 5th edition without us having to invest in the books.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I think 5th is decent. I like 5th. 4th is terrible. I don't want to touch 4th.
We weren't even talking about 4th.
I know.
Why do you gotta bring 4th into this?
Because.
Okay, well, one, I
Sorry.
like 4th.
I know.
I think 4th was the most beginner-friendly edition until Essentials hit.
Mm.
And I think it would have done a lot better if not for the murders.
Oh, right! There were murders!
Right, like, a lot of people want to blame everything on 4th, but it was hit by the 2 things that ruin any project. A sudden death and executive meddling.
Yeah.
And it got hit with a lot of the executive meddling. And then, when they were putting on the finishing touches that would have fixed a lot of the stuff, one of them was killed, and it ruined all the digital tie-in stuff.
Yeah.
That would have kind of cemented it, I think.
Well, because I just remember that, like, test playthrough that we did at Comic-Con in 2008.
Yeah, that wasn't that great.
And it was 2 hours of a fight.
Yeah, no.
And I
agree with
remember
you. That is, like, my biggest concern with it. That's why the first thing I sat down to do when I said, I need to house rule this,
Yeah.
was, how do I make the fight shorter?
Yeah, because, oh, God. Like, 3.5, the fights were long, but they were enjoyable, and this was not enjoyable.
Well, that's the other thing, is that with 4th, the other thing you deal with a lot of the time is... No, Steph.
No!
Steph, you can't keep doing that. When they hit 0, they die.
Also, I'm just putting this out there, I've been a good boy. I got
Like,
chores done today.
you
I
did.
ate food.
Good job, Ray.
Very proud of you.
Yes.
So, like, 4th edition, 1, the fights are too long. I 100% agree with you there.
Yeah.
2, the skill system is too simple. I believe I figured out a fix for that one.
Okay.
I figured out a fix for the fights. It does make the fights a little swingier, but it also makes you feel like, oh shit, I might die. Which 3rd does a lot. A lot of the time in 3rd, especially in like the first 5 levels,
Yeah.
you're in a fight and you go, haha, I just did half your hit points. Oh no, you just did half my hit points.
Oh no, I'm gonna die.
Oh no, I'm gonna die. Though I have killed in 4th. As hard as that is, an unmodified 4th I have killed. I killed Miegan.
You killed me, Egan.
It was a white dragon, because they all wanted to fight a dragon, so I threw the weakest dragon in the book against them.
Yeah.
And they were going like, oh, it's the weakest dragon, we can take this. Not realizing that the way the CR system in most games is set up, the idea is that in 3.5, a CR1 creature is a challenge for 4 level 1 players.
Okay.
In Pathfinder, this was changed so that a CR1 creature is a challenge for 2.5 level 1 players. Because that helps you make slightly more interesting fights.
Yeah.
In 4th edition, a CR1 creature is a challenge for 1 level 1 player.
Yeah.
Okay. But there was also 3 modifiers you could put onto a creature. Minion, which made them a quarter of a player. Elite, which made them 2 players. And Solo, which made them 5 players.
Ooh.
Now, these were all level 2 characters. I let them level up right before the fight.
Yeah.
Against a solo level 5 monster. So this was a challenge for 5 level 5 characters.
Oh no.
And we had 4 level 2 characters. And
No.
I told them, this will be difficult.
Like, if you don't die, which you're probably gonna do.
Right. And, Miegan.
I love that we call the other, that we call Megan Plaxco Miagan.
Well, she's Megan Jensen now.
Yep.
She got married.
Yeah,
Has 2 children.
I keep forgetting that she got married. I
Um,
think I just blacked that out from my memory
her
because
husband,
she's so
Steve,
much
was
like
at
my
the party
sister.
as well. So we had 4 players go up against a white dragon. And now, for comparison, a white dragon, compared to a normal monster will hit you once, and then that's their attack.
Yeah.
Which is fine. That's what you figure an attack would be.
Yeah.
Dragons have this thing where if they hit with their first claw, they get to swing with their second claw.
Yep.
And if you hit with the second claw, they get to hit with a bite. And if they hit with the bite, you get to add 2d6 on top of all of that damage.
Oh god. Robot titty!
And so, this dragon bit off Miegan's head.
Oh god!
And then they're going like, well, no, we need to get revenge. The other thing is that 4th edition has a mechanic called Bloodied, and I love Bloodied.
Yeah.
Because Bloodied is the only way that I like to tell people hit points when I'm doing 4th, which is, it's Bloodied. You know that means it is a half or less.
Yeah.
And that's a very good metric, because you shouldn't know their hit points.
Yeah.
There should be some mystery. But the other side effect of Bloodied is that both players and monsters sometimes had abilities that only kicked in when you're bloodied. And for a dragon, the first time they hit bloodied, in case they heal and fall down again, they get a free breath weapon attack in the moment.
God.
From any direction they want, as long as it's aimed at the person who bloodied them.
Oh Christ.
That's the best reaction for what I just said. The,
Right? I love this expression.
So it was like, let's get revenge. The fighter swings a greatsword into the dragon, knocked it to bloodied. Cone of cold on everyone.
Oh no.
Fight still took too long.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that. So I changed the math on the monster side to make the fights way faster.
Good.
And I also... another thing is, this was in normal 4th edition, but every DM ignored it, which makes me so mad.
Okay.
There's a thing called skill challenges. And skill challenges are, do this thing, so that people who are better at skills than fighting
Yeah.
can get experience points better than the fighters.
Okay.
It's like, oh, well, we need to talk to these people. And so they would say, okay, plan for like 4 or 5 skill rolls for this thing, and treat it like they beat a level whatever monster.
Yeah. Which as someone who's played a lot of charisma heavy outside combat
Yeah.
necessary characters, I would have appreciated that.
Yes. And so I put a focus on that too, and I've actually moved that into Pathfinder.
Yeah.
When I do Pathfinder.
Oh, I like go heavy on that when I DM Pathfinder.
Yeah. I make social encounters.
So do I.
And also, the other thing is that, and this is just a fault of a lot of DMs, a lot of DMs typically don't reward non-violence.
Yeah.
Because it's a war game, we should be rewarding violence. No, Warhammer is a war game. This is a role-playing game. I should be role-playing.
Yeah.
Now,
Which I will give that to Nate, the one of 2 DMs I had after you.
Mm-hmm.
He did give us stuff for role playing. He would give us a lot of extra XP for role playing as our characters.
Good.
Which I always wound up getting a crap ton of because I play my characters as close as I can. I'm fairly decent at it.
And that's important to do. Well, and there's multiple famous DMs out there who try to point out, so it's getting better.
Yeah.
combat is a solution. It is not the solution.
Yeah.
The game is combat heavy. We're not going to deny that. But if your method of solving the problem is non-violent, you should still get some rewards. Experience points should always be rewarded.
Yeah.
That was an experience you just had. Now, if you're fighting the same person and they haven't improved at all, I'm not giving you experience twice. That's not how that works.
Yeah.
If they, like, escaped and then they come back to fight you again, and now they're, like, stronger and have, like, I don't know, Bob the Assassin is now Mecha Bob the Assassin. Then, yeah, I'll give you rewards for fighting Mecha Bob. And then later he comes back as Bob the One-Winged Angel, Phantom Bob, Bob Lord of Evil, Bob King of all Koopas, things of that nature.
Soccer Bob.
No, not that one.
I'm sorry. Since you
Bob
said Bob, and
Emperor
my brain immediately went to the nickname that Bex gave you.
Bob Emperor of Cybertron. Anyway. But yeah, so I will reward you if it's a new fight entirely.
Yeah.
But if you're going back on it, then no. I'm not going to give you those rewards. So then there's also, like, what rewards you get for the way you solve it should change, though. For example, if it's, oh, we have to go slay this dragon, and then you find out that the dragon isn't actually threatening the town, he's being framed. If you still murder the dragon, yeah, I'll give you the treasure. But if you go, hey, dragon, how about the two of us find the guy who framed you? And then you can just, like, chill.
Yeah.
Free dragon friend.
Which, dragon friends are nice.
They are.
Oh my god, I still I'm remembering I worked really hard on this Inner Seas campaign that I was gonna do. I was bullshitting a lot of it.
Yeah.
But this isn't the homebrew one that I did.
No, you said Inner Sea, so I'm assuming you mean the Pathfinder setting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh, fuck, it is windy out.
and I had it all set up, and I had this group, and it was great. It was all my, like...
The bus stop sign in front of our house is tipping.
Oh, shit. It was, like, all of my gender weird friends from my, trans group. And, I had set up, like, a lot of these, like, you can fight these characters if you want. They are not the, like, it's necessary to fight these guys. And I gave them ways to get out of it if they wanted. And the neat thing about this group was almost every time they would find a way out of combat. But it would be the weirdest freaking way to do it. And it always, every single time, threw me for a freaking loop and then changed the dynamic of the entire campaign. Because I had all this political, like... drama and this demonic cult thing going on, and these brilliant idiots. Like, I think one of my favorite things was, like, there was a half orc, did not have the greatest intelligence in the group, which makes sense. They were a barbarian. That's just how barbarians do. Oh, I don't like that. Oh god, this guy. What did they? I had them infiltrate this this guardhouse, right? And I was like, you didn't have to infiltrate. You could have just gone and talked to the guy. But they decided that they were going to infiltrate because they didn't know whether or not. Because the whole thing was like it was a political intrigue. They had to pick somebody to rule the kingdom, and they didn't know if this guy was on the up and up. They thought he might be the guy who had a demon in his house. And I was like, okay, so what are you going to do? Well, we are going to infiltrate the guard center. I'm like, okay. And so they, like, steal some guard uniforms, sneak in, and proceed to, like, either scare the crap out of anybody they come across because one of their group accidentally got really super drunk. And tied a blanket around their shoulders and pretended to be super grog. Or they would light stuff on fire, and I think my favorite one was they discovered zombies in the basement of the guards' quarters and decided to just chuck a big flaming fireball in there, close the door, and run away. And I was like, well, now the entire guard tower is on fire from the ground up. So that happened. Like, congratulations, guys. You lit the building on fire. It's an interesting campaign.
That's up there with I'm going to punch the blood back into him.
It is.
They wound up, like, leading a, a prostitute-led rebellion against the people in charge. And I was just like, I don't know how it is that you have won over all of the prostitutes in this city and have turned them into your, like, living weapon. But okay. It was one guy. They had one guy they had to take out in this city, and they just decided, nope, it's all gonna go away. And we're gonna put a puppet in charge. Specifically this cute orphan puppet that you gave us at the start of the adventure.
I heard like, puppet. That's right, I heard puppy.
Yeah.
I realized you meant puppet, and then I realized you meant puppy.
He wasn't a puppet. Or he wasn't a puppy, he was a puppet. They had a puppet king, and I was just like, this, you're all good characters. How did this happen? This is some chaotic neutral type bullshit. That was a fun campaign. I got a lot of good memes out of that, like Bird Jesus.
The thing is, I'm fairly certain Bird Jesus came from Quick Plays Pokemon.
Yes, I know. But I didn't know that.
That's fair.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm looking up something.
Mm-hmm.
Because now that we're talking about D&D, I wanted to find an old D&D adventure that I had never gotten a chance to run.
Yeah.
Called Vote for the Goat.
Vote for the Goat?
I believe that's what it is.
What?
Okay, so... okay. So, this is one I've heard of. They had, like, a weird box set. Because second edition, everything was box sets.
Yeah.
You had to buy boxes for anything, what do you call it? Anything, campaign setting wise.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. City of Greyhawk. Okay. So, in the old City of Greyhawk box, there were cards that had adventure hooks on them. And you would shuffle them and deal yourself out one. I'm probably misremembering this horribly.
Mm-hmm.
But one of them is Vote for the Goat. The mayor... There's two people running for mayor of this small township. One of them has ties to dark magic. And to get rid of his opponent, turns his opponent into a goat. However, the magic didn't work completely, and he still has the ability to speak and write.
Oh no.
And so he's still running on his new eating tin cans faceplant.
That's hilarious.
And now, some magical mobsters have stolen the goat, and it is up to the party to get the goat back.
Oh my god, that's great. It's almost as great as this expression on Starscream's face.
Yeah, so...
Somebody told Windblade that she was the prettiest seeker.
Not even a seeker. She doesn't even go here!
She doesn't even go here!
Here we go. So, I found a Reddit thread that... What's your favorite adventure from the City of Greyhawk box? Almost everyone agrees it's Vote for the Goat. But then there's also one of the encounters is thief twice your level. Does not give you a stat block. Gives you just stat up a thief twice your level. I'm level 20. Here's the god of thieves. Just pick in your pocket because he's bored. Yeah, so I do want to run my fixed 4th edition, not plain 4th edition.
Yeah.
At some point. In the more immediate future, I have 4 Pathfinder campaigns to prepare for.
Yep. Which I'm looking forward to because I got my witch all ready to go.
Yes.
My hedonistic, crazy-ass, Dampier witch. I love him. Lebka is great, and I'm going to have a great time playing him.
For the 2 groups at work, which are the kids I'm running the games for,
Yeah.
I'm very much considering running one of my favorite old 3.5 adventures, just convert it into Pathfinder.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if I ever ran you through Something's Cooking.
I don't know.
Okay. It's just a stupid side quest.
Yeah.
And like it legit feels like a Skyrim side quest.
Okay.
But it's, oh, you need to go out to the woods to make sure that this old alchemist didn't die.
Okay.
That seems easy enough.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?
Famous last words.
So you get to his house.
Yeah.
The door. Let me see here. The door's unlocked. All the furniture is askew. There's blood all over the walls. You find out his wife is a witch, and she has animated the fire poker, the curtain pull, and a book because she was too lazy to open the curtains herself, poke her own fire, or open her own books. But they are just intelligent enough to be afraid, like a dog that just went through something traumatic.
Oh no.
So if you come near them, they try to attack you because they think you're also bad.
Aww.
But they're not intelligent enough to talk to, unlike a dog. Because you can go, it's okay, buddy, come here. You can't do that with a smart book.
No.
The book is like, no, where's my reader? No, I will slam my covers on you. I like to imagine it makes an om nom nom noise when it closes on your fingers.
This is not one I've ever done.
No.
I remember this.
Yeah,
I've done like 5 different Christmas ones with you, though.
Yeah, you typically only were able to play at Christmas.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you go through the house. The house smells horrible, but if anyone has profession cook or craft alchemy or craft any of the cooking ones,
Yeah.
you recognize that what it is just way too much oregano and garlic. If anyone's brave enough to taste the blood, they find out it's marinara sauce.
Or stupid enough, considering some of the people we've RP'd with before.
That's true.
I mean, we did have Ryan, who decided he was gonna punt a zombie bear head like a dumbass.
And then almost became a zombie.
Yeah, which I was very annoyed with. I was the team cleric, and I'm sitting there like, if you do that, not only am I, A, not gonna heal you, B, I won't be able to.
Well, you'll be able to stop him from being an unholy abomination.
Yeah, but that's about it.
Anyway, you get to the bedroom. You find the alchemist is tied up to the bed, and there is a little imp just stinging him every time he comes conscious again to knock him unconscious, and like kicking him in the ribs repeatedly to have fun. And that's like the main combat encounter is killing this imp.
Right.
And then you go like, wait, but how did the imp spray marinara sauce everywhere and break all this furniture? He this big. For a frame of reference, I'm holding my hands 9 inches apart. And then you go into the basement and find out that the fucker made a calzone golem. And golems are known to go sporadically insane and just rampage.
Yep.
And it's been rampaging for like 3 days in the basement. And his wife is locked up inside of a cooking pot, protecting herself.
Oh, God.
So you have to
That would be dramatic.
kill the calzone golem to free, and the imp to free him and his wife. Very, very side questy.
Yeah.
But pizza golem. And I don't know about you, but anything that's like When you cut it open, molten hot marinara sauce spews out of it, burning you just like a hot pocket on the roof of your mouth.
Oh, God!
Ah, I'm blistered. And I smell of mozzarella. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm thinking I'm going to run that one just because, one, it's silly.
Yeah.
And silly's always great.
Yeah, children appreciate silly.
Adults should appreciate silly more.
I know, I do, but, like, not a lot of adults do.
Yeah.
Those weirdos.
Yeah.
They all want Game of Thrones, and I'm over here wanting Thundar the Barbarian. Or, even better, He-Man would be more what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I like She-Ra Princesses of Power, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of level of stuff I'm into, and I'm getting very annoyed that the mainstream has adopted Game of Thrones as the height of fantasy. Because it's not... It's just a soap opera with dragons. That's really all it is, let's be honest. And my mom and I had a very big argument about why the fact that I'm just not into Game of Thrones as much anymore. And it was so funny because our waiter agreed with me and then he launched into a soliloquy about how Game of Thrones sucks now. I was like, yes.
Validation. Haha.
Somebody who is more annoyed with Game of Thrones than I am. And it was so funny because I could tell, like, my mom was, like, 5 seconds away from going see with me until the waiter just went off about how much Game of Thrones was annoying him. And I was just like, yes. It was great. Anything that annoys my mom that I have no control over is the best thing in the world to me. Because I get to see my mom go through the stages of Karen, being confronted with the fact that she cannot Karen. Because my mom is a real life Karen. Just, ugh. I've seen her call for people's managers before. I'm not kidding. It's very embarrassing. I don't appreciate it. So this is the process of making a sketchy Starscream. It is obviously very sketchy.
Yeah, we can't trust this one.
Starscream is the rogue twice your level.
Starscream is the rogue twice your level. The guy that's picking your pockets. The 20th level. Yeah, he's still gonna try and pick your pocket. You know what was so funny to me today? Is I was trying to fulfill my dailies on Eternal, and I could tell that this guy had one of the pre-made decks because I played with all the pre-made decks at this point. And he was coming at me with one of them, and I was like, yeah, this is not going to end well for you. And it didn't. And I was like, oh man, it's funny because I predicted literally everything that happened. Because he kept trying to shut me down. And I'm just like, you don't have anything in your deck that can honestly shut me down. You just have meh. Well, I just finished a page of my Tekken comic. Yay! Congrats! Lord knows I need to work on my comic projects, and I haven't.
Well, you've been busy doing sketchy Starscream trip.
This is true, I have been.
Holy shit, Modern Horizons.
What happened?
They're reprinting Deep Forest Hermit.
I don't know what that is.
So it's card with Vanishing. And Vanishing kind of sucks because it means your card has a time limit.
Yeah.
When it enters the battlefield, create 4 1/1 green squirrel creature tokens. Squirrels you control get +1/+1. They are reprinting squirrel-themed cards in black border.
Okay.
The higher-ups had told us that this would never happen.
Oh no! So we're getting squirrels again.
They have finally caved.
We're also
Yay!
getting full art snow-covered lands.
Yay. They're finally viable again. I can throw my snow-covered mountains into.
Well, you can for modern now, is what this means.
Oh, okay.
Modern Horizons is not going to be standard legal.
Mm.
It is bypassing standard to go into modern. And the idea is that they're reprinting all the cards that were too weak for Legacy and Vintage, but too strong for standard.
Mm.
And saying, here, modern, have fun. Here's some commander cards. Here's some brand new cards. Here's a fucking planeswalker that just makes a Sarah Angel constantly.
Yay!
Because
So I can
it's
have.
Sarah.
So I could have like angel tribal deck.
I mean, you always could.
Yeah, I
Nothing
know.
was stopping you.
I know.
But yes. In fact, Angel Tribal is considered, out of the iconic tribes,
Yeah.
Angel is probably the second most viable. Dragon is the most. Dragon exists in all 5 colors. It can just be done.
Yeah.
Angel exists in all 5 colors, but almost every color requires white.
Yeah.
So it, except for Fallen Angel, which is pure black, and Illusionary Angel, which is pure blue. Oh, I think there's like one legendary red one. Green gets nothing. Fuck you, Green. You get no angels.
Mm.
The one angel they do have is like from Legends, and it's terrible. Because it's like, pick one that you didn't pick last turn, and you get to pick a bunch of keywords. So it's like, hey, next turn I'm going to have Trample.
Mhm.
Because I had Trample last turn. Yeah, so there's, then after that I want to say it's Demons, and then Hydras, and then Sphinxes are way at the bottom, because I think there's, any Sphinx has blue. And there's very few, I don't think there's a single red one. Which I would love to see a red Sphinx. I just wanted to see him be like the Riddler, but lying. It's like, or asking like bullshit riddles. Why'd the chicken cross the road? To get to the other side? To stab you in the face!
It sounds ridiculous
Just
and also hilarious.
Insane.
Well, that's what we'll call a mad sphinx.
Yeah, it'd have to be something like that. It just doesn't sound right without Shortleaf saying it after.
Sphinx!
No, the, brain reloading. Speaking of the Riddler, somebody pointed out that there's a line in a Batman comic where he complains that Metropolis isn't as fun as Gotham. And it's like, right, because what's more fun than a town that for some reason keeps having museum exhibits about pairs of twins on February 2nd? A lot of Gotham City is catered to its villains.
It really is.
Like, I'm sorry, Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery is, for the most part, a zoo and the one Russian man who hunts them.
Yep.
Most of Batman's villains are mental illnesses personified. And it only works because the town keeps throwing events that fit their themes. Like, I want to imagine that there's just, like, one guy that they never do anything with his theme. It's like, what's wrong, King Cheddar? Well, there's just no cheese-themed events here in Gotham. I mean, you could move to Wisconsin. I guess. But, like, I'm in a rent-controlled apartment. I'm gonna lose that if it doesn't work out.
Oh my god. No, but I'm cracking up because I can honestly think of one.
Who?
Either the mobster puppet guy,
Scarface.
yeah, or the Mad Hatter.
Okay, now, to be fair, the two of them are very proactive individuals who make events that matter. Because Scarface is not puppet-themed.
I know, he's mob themed.
He's mob-themed, so he just does mob things.
Yeah, but as a puppet.
But he's a puppet. And we don't know why there's multiple people with the same mental illness that makes them convinced that they have to control Scarface because he's clearly not magic. What is going on?
Yeah.
Also, is it wrong that I like to imagine that when it's the blonde woman, it's still the deep, gravelly, like, used guy's voice coming out of him, like the same one as all the men?
Right.
But, like, when she talks normal, not like Dr. Girlfriend.
Yeah.
But then we have, as for Mad Hatter, Mad Hatter's thing is more of just, oh, a blonde woman named Alice moved into the neighborhood. A what? Time to put my hat back on. Let's go. And then most of his shit's hat themed past that.
Yeah.
He uses hats to control people, but it's all because he wants to fuck any blonde woman named Alice he can find.
Right, which is just weird to me.
Alice, trust me, whatever you do, don't bleach your hair. Why? What's the worst that could happen? Hello, my dear. Ah, god damn it, I should have listened to Jim. Public safety notice. Anybody whose last name is a bird, do not go out into public. Boy, sure is a great time to be me, Mr. Seagulls. Ah, fuck, here's the penguin. Just that's how it would go.
Yep.
Well, at least I'm fine. Why do you say you're fine? Well, my name is Edward Gills. And, fuck, my initials make it Eagles on my name tag. God damn it. Well, I'm just gonna go find the penguin. Let him kid. Like, since they took the penguin away from doing bird-themed crimes, he became much more interesting.
Right?
Now that he just runs the supervillain club.
Right? I loved that in the cartoon. I was just like, oh, okay, now he's just basically a real-life white-collar criminal.
Yeah.
I like this.
That's fine. We're up there. There is the Cabal, which is the weirdest DC villains group.
Yeah, they're just weird.
Well, because here's the members of the Cabal, for those of you who don't know. You have Dr. Psycho, who is a midget telepath who's in love with obsessed with Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
He is the ultimate incel.
Oh, and it's so gross.
You have Dr. Hugo Strange, not to be confused with anyone else named Dr. Strange, who is a psychologist who is obsessed with Batman and wants to become Batman.
Yeah, which is just weird. It's just weird.
And he looks like one of those skeevy steampunk guys that you see at the Ren Fair with like a girlfriend who's way too hot for them, but then he ends up hitting on you anyway. And I'm basically making fun of Dr. Steele at this point. Anyway.
Who the fuck is Dr. Steele?
So Dr. Steele is a musical artist that Danny and I both like.
Mm-hmm.
And he became kind of big in the early 2000s on the internet through YouTube. Big enough that he had like a decent following.
Okay.
That he called his Toy Soldiers.
Okay.
The head of his fan club was a girl named Kato. At least that's what she went by online.
Yeah.
Who was just ridiculously hot.
Okay.
And then they ended up dating. They ended up getting married. And then started prowling on FetLife for bi women to hit on.
Ugh.
And according to at least 2 different women, they get like weirdly controlling and narcissistic in relationships.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Anyway. So you get, so you have Doctor Strange, who's not Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
So Dr. Hugo Strange.
Yeah.
You have Amazo. Just fucking Amazo. If you don't know DC, Amazo is an android created by Dr. Ivo, not Ivo Robotnik, but the good Dr. Ivo.
Yeah.
He absorbs superpowers he's near.
Yeah.
So he has the powers of all of the Justice League, and his weakness is he just suffers from ennui.
He just wants to die.
He is
Oh
so...
my goodness, Tiny Dog, what is going on?
I don't know, but she's gonna go shank a bitch.
What? But yeah, so there's an android with ennui. He just finds no joy in life.
He's robot Edgar Allan Poe.
Kind of, yeah. Oh fuck, there's a fourth member I'm forgetting. I know the fifth member. I'm trying to remember the fourth. Let me see here. Amazo, Dr. Psycho, Dr. Hugo Strange, some fourth asshole who I can't be bothered to remember.
Some fourth asshole.
And Killer Bee. Killer Bee, in this incarnation, is an alien insect woman who wants to turn the Earth into her hive
Oh my god.
by mind-controlling men into being her drones.
Oh my god. So not Queen Bee like in the Young Justice cartoon.
No, that's her. She
Oh.
goes by Killer Bee now. Because she's found out murder is an amazingly effective weapon against the women.
I mean, yeah.
Wait, you're telling me I can just kill people? That's easy.
God.
Get her, my bee soldiers. Buzz, buzz. Now, I still say my favorite version of Killer Bee / Queen Bee is Lana Lang.
What?
Alright, so in some continuities, because DC has multiple continuities,
Yeah.
and then they
Marvel
try to
does.
say that they don't, and then they do.
Yeah.
And then they don't, and then they do. And DC can't make up its mind, and it hurts me.
Yeah.
It hurts me so.
You're done seeing the beginning of.
I don't need to see
Batman.
Batman's parents get shot again. At this point, I think Joe Chill has gotten more face time than some of the Flash's villains.
I can honestly tell you that yes, that is a thing. Also, it's been 2 hours, so I think I'm gonna have to call it here. This has been fun.
Yes.
And I hope you guys had a great time, but I gotta take a break. I gotta go to the bathroom. I gotta get stuff to drink. I gotta grab food. All
And
that.
you should have had at least 8 ounces of water.
Yep, and I have not, so I gotta go do
Get
that.
some water.
Yep, alright. So this has been fun. I hope you guys had a great time, and we will catch you again later. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, especially if you're seeing this on YouTube.
Yep.
If you were watching us on Twitch, follow us. That's always great. If you would like to support us, we have a Patreon. It's down at the moment.
It is.
Last time I clicked on it, it was.
It said it was still working when I logged in this morning.
Well, okay, then I guess it's up again. I don't know.
That might have been all of Patreon was down, because that happened a while ago.
Oh, okay, then that's what it was.
Yeah.
Alright, never mind. So we have that. We also have a Teespring shop where you can buy merch.
Yes.
A lot of it is either our art or stuff having to do with Magic the Gathering, so that's fun. Or you can commission me directly on Tumblr or Discord. All that good jazz.
There's so many things.
So many things. Thanks so much for joining us today, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys!
Bye.